then cloud, it could be very tough to understand. Okay, so we cannot learn the cloud computing in a single day. Okay, the reason is that cloud computing, it could have internally lot many services are there. Okay, one service, it might be depending on the another service. Okay, so that so in single day we cannot learn all the services. Okay, so that spend time at least half an hour, at least half an hour. Okay, so I'm giving a task to you, all of you, and I hope you can do it this weekend and you can submit it. Okay. And the first thing is that create your own AWS account. How many, are no created your own account? Lakshmi, have you created your own AWS account? Monica, Anil, Ramya, Tanya, Vamshi, Vasu, Venkata.
I
I'm
created, but I never used.
But my first question is, have you created your own account? Later
Yes,
we can talk about practice. Okay.
yes.
Yeah, you have an account. That's a great
Yes.
thing. What about Monica?
uh I'm yet to open it because I'm watching previous videos. Uh,
My question is that do you have AWS account or not?
no.
Okay, then what we can do, the first task is that you have to go for create your own AWS
Yeah.
account.
Yeah.
So second task is that so once if you open your AWS account, then networking concept is there. Okay, so that try to go for learning the IP addressing. Okay, and second one is subnetting. So whether you can listen my previous sessions or else we can use any videos outside also, but you need to know that subnetting. Okay, IP addressing and subnetting. Next one is, and actually it's IP addressing and subnetting is a part of the networking, and even VPC also, it's a part of the networking only. Okay, VPC creation and deploy to different missions. Deploy the two missions, two EC2 missions. EC2 missions. Okay, and then try communication. Try to communicating. Try communication between them. Okay. Just simply we can use the ping command and give the IP address, then automatically. So if it is pinging, that means it's communicating to each other. Okay. Second one is, so create two EPCs. Create two VPCs and deploy the missions. Deploy two EC2 missions on each on two VPCs. Okay, so in two VPCs, we have to go for deploy the one mission, one EC2 mission, one VPC, and one EC2 mission in another VPC. Okay, and we can try communication between them. If it is not possible, then go for the VPC peering concept. Try with VPC peering. Okay, so far, we understood from the AWS this concepts only. Actually, I completed IAM service also, but if you have a time, then we can go on IAM service. Okay, go and learn AWS IAM. So guys, so far I just completed only this 5 things only, or 6 things only. Okay. Now, now today topic is that NAT gate. It's a part of the networking only. So not gate. NAT gate. It's not gate, it's a NAT gate. Okay. So what exactly the NAT gate? I can explain you first of all, so that you can easily understood by the time of implementation. Okay. See, let me consider you are working one organization. Okay. So this organization, or else you are trying to build one particular project. Okay. The project, it might be required the web servers, right? It might be required the web servers, right? And it might be required the, yes, where we are supposed to access the past videos. And Tanya, you have to send your mail ID, and I can access your recording access. And so wait for end of the class. I can tell you how we can access. Okay.
Sure. Thanks.
Okay. Okay, fine. See, guys, you just think like, no, you are working with one particular project, right? So when we are building one particular project, so the project, it might be requiring the, it might be needed some kind of web servers, and it might be required some kind of app servers. Okay. And it might be required the some kind of database servers. Okay. See, I have sent my email ID to yesterday. I haven't got email ID. Okay, Pooja, just wait for a few minutes. Once my session is done, definitely we'll talk about that particular points. Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. So my question is that, this server, it has to be communicating with the internet. Okay. It has to be communicate internet. That means anybody can communicating to web servers, as well as web servers also can be communicated. See, if someone can able to access the DB servers directly, is it having the security with your project? For your project is having any kind of security? If someone is directly accessing the database servers, that means your project is not secure, right? Say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay. But if you want access anything, front end, like web servers can, anybody can able to access. That's not an issue. But if someone try to access your database servers, which means that your project, it doesn't have some kind of, it doesn't have the proper security, proper security. Okay. So how we can solve this issue? How we can solve this issue? Okay. See, for solving this issue, in AWS, okay, so let me consider this is one VPC. In a single VPC, okay, it must be having the subnets, right? This is one subnet, and this is one subnet. Okay. For example, this subnet is the public subnet. Actually, this is VPC, virtual private cloud. And so inside of the VPC, we have the subnets. Subnets. So if you're not aware of it, what exactly the subnet, we can go for our previous sessions so that you can understand. Okay. So subnet 1, and this is subnet 2. Okay. So this is the subnet. If I make it as the public, so whatever the servers you're deploying on this particular subnet, that all servers can be communicating to the outside, can be communicating to the internet. That means outside. See, what are the subnets? You made it as the private. You made it as the private. Okay. Then whatever the servers you deployed, those servers, it cannot be communicating to the internet. It can be communicating only internal servers only can be communicated. Only internal servers can be communicated. it cannot be communicating to the outside of the servers. Is it clear?
Yes.
So, which means that whatever the servers, it has the communication both the sides. Okay, those servers we can deploy in a public subnets. And what are the servers you want to make it some kind of it won't access by outside guys? Then we can deploy those missions in private subnet. So far, the previous session, and we just creating the VPC, and inside of the VPC, we are creating the subnet and we are deploying the missions. And by default, it's a public subnets so that anybody can communicate it if you add the internet gateway, right? So if you add the internet gateway, anybody can be communicated to that those particular servers actually. But my intuition is that now my intuition is that so in my VPC, okay, I can deploy the missions, but the missions, some of the missions are private missions, and I mean, some of the missions has to be communicating to the outside, and some of the missions it won't access, it doesn't have any kind of access to connect to the outside actually. Okay, so how we can do it? Simply we can creating the private subnets and public subnets, and so public subnets it might having the public servers, that means anybody can able to connect and communicate it to directly without any permissions and other things. But when comes to the private, when comes to the private subnet, it could be have the only private servers. It can be communicated to only internal servers only can be communicated, right? Now we can work with this area. Now we can go for creating the two different missions on the same VPC and with two different subnets. Okay. 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 Let me open my AWS account. Login. Yes. So first, what we can do, we can deploy the two missions with the same VPC with the two different subnets. Both subnets are by default it's a public, so that we can directly connect, right? That we can see now. First, initially, first we can see that one. Okay. So let me go for services and all services, and so we are talking about networking concept, right? So inside of the networking, here we have a VPC, and we need to go for click on the VPC. Mm, I think you don't have any kind of instance. No instance, no missions are deployed so far. Okay, fine. Now, what I can do, I would like to go for creating the new VPC. Okay, the name of the VPC is, for example, give me one project, OpenAI. Okay, OpenAI is your VPC name. And so here the servers, the subnetting is here. I mean, the IP address range is 10.1.0.0 by 16. You can give anything actually. So that way you're just creating the VPC, and you can edit the VPC settings and enable the DNS host name. That's it. So you are creating the one VPC, and inside of this VPC, you have the two subnets. the VPC which is associated with two subnets. Okay. So that go for creating the subnet 1 and OpenAI, right? So this VPC, so this OpenAI VPC, which is having the two subnets, the name of the subnet is, by default, it's a public subnet, guys. So that I'm giving the name is public subnet only. Public subnet OpenAI, just for understanding. Okay, so might if we have the same names, you might be confused, right? So this is availability zone 1. Okay. So, and the range of the IP address in subnet 1 is 10.1.10 by 24. Okay. So create. So you are creating the one subnet, a public subnet OpenAI. And now I would like to go for creating the one more subnet for the same VPC. And the name of the subnet is, this is also public only. By default, subnets are public. By default, in the sense, if and only if in the route table, if you added it directly into the internet gateway, then automatically it could be public subnets only. Okay. Public subnet OpenAI 2. And for example, this is availability zone 2. So simply you're creating the two subnets. Oh, you have to give you the range is 10.1. For example, this range is 2.0 by 24. Create the subnet. How many subnets you created on OpenAI VPC? Tell me, guys, how many subnets you created?
Two
Two
subnets.
subnet.
Yes. Now I would like to go for adding the internet gateway. So every VPC, it should have the one internet gateway. So I'm creating the OpenAI internet gateway. Okay. So create the internet gateway and you should attach to a VPC. So you're attaching the OpenAI VPC and copy this VPC address actually. VPC ID, you can copy it. Okay. So you are attached, right? Then next we can go for the route table. And so, by default, one route table is created. This is my VPC head, right? On this top of this VPC, is there any routing tables are there or not? Yes, we have one routing table is there. It is main as in the sense it's a default route table. Okay, so that I'm giving the name is OpenAI main route table. This is main route table. So automatically this route table was created by Amazon. When you're creating the VPC, automatically this route table can be created. Okay. But now what I can do, or else we can go for the, yeah, we can add the subnets here itself. Okay. You don't need to go for creating the one more route table. It's an optional for you. So here, what I can do, we just go for the assigning all the subnets. Edit. Okay. So edit subnets and we can add all the subnets, save association. Yes, you added the subnets. Okay. After you adding the subnets, then we can go for the roots. In a roots, you need to edit the roots. By default, it's a local communication is already established. If someone need to be connect from outside, or else if someone need to send data from outside, make sure that we need to add the internet gateway. And other than this range of IP address, if anything is coming, then it could be connected or it could be from the internet gateway only. Okay. So select the OpenAI internet gateway. Save the changes. Okay, fine. So you are creating the VPC, subnet, internet gateway, and route table. What is the next thing? Security groups. And go for creating the security group for your OpenAI. OpenAI VPC security groups SG. And here we can give that, allow SSH. Okay. And so you have to give your VPC address. If you are giving the wrong VPC, then this security groups could be created for someone, another VPC actually. So make sure that we need to copy the VPC ID and we can paste here and we can select the inbound rules and we can access all the traffic. Okay. And anywhere VPC4 and save or create the security group. You're just creating the one VPC and the single VPC, which is having the two subnet, and we're adding the route table and internet gateway and security groups. Everything is done. Okay. Now, let me go for creating the two instances, two different subnets. Okay. So here, I can create the one by one after one. I can create. Okay. Click on the launch instance. And give the name is, it's a public server, guys. OpenAI public server or else web server. OpenAI web server. Web server 1 or else a public server. Okay, OpenAI public server and select the image and free tier and select the key pair. So Google key pair, I have the PEM file and I have the PPK file. How we are creating the key pair and everything I already explained. And so that I'm just selecting directly my key pair value. And select the networking. So here we have an option. So we have to go for select the OpenAI VPC and inside of that one, I have the two subnets, right? So that I can select the public subnet one. That means I'm creating the web server one, right? OpenAI public server one, right? Okay. So that I'm choosing the subnet public subnet one. Okay. And enabling your auto enabling the public IP. Then where is security groups? Yes. Select the security groups and OpenAI SG. Then launch. So you're launching the one instance. And this is this instance which is launched on subnet 1. Now, I would like to go for launch the one more mission. I'm launching the sub, and this one is OpenAI public server 2. Okay. And this moment, what I can do, Google key pair and edit says. So guys, initially these two servers are public and the subnets also public only. So the difference between the public servers and public subnet servers and private subnet servers I can show you. Okay. So select the security groups and launch the instance. That's it. Okay. Now, what I can do, I would like to connect these two missions from my local mission. Okay. So what I can do, first thing is that I can open the Putty. Putty is the one application. So from Putty, with help of the putty. So Windows machines, from Windows machines, we can connect the Linux machines. Yes. So here the public, see, these names are too big, so that I'm just changing the names are public server 1 instead of the OpenAI. I'm just giving that, public server 1. Okay, just for sake of names. This is for public server 2. Okay, just for sake of names purpose instead of confusion. Okay, so let me go for connecting the first public server 1. Okay, so this is your public IP address, right? Yes, we can copy this one and we can paste here. And so SSH authentications, credentials, and browse your PPK file, and which is there in my local computer. I'm just selecting it and open it. See, you're connected, right? And here we can give you EC2-user, then your login to your server. So from your Windows, you're connected to your AWS machine. Okay, and the mission IP address is 10.1.1.223. This is subnet 1 related mission. Now again we can open the one more putty, and this moment I would like to go for connecting the server 2. So this is public server, right? Yes, this is the IP address. We can copy this IP address. This is public IP address, guys. And authentication, credentials, browse your Google Keeper PPK file and open it. So open it, accept, and EC2-user. See, careful observe here. So this IP address is 10.1.1 and this IP address is 10.1.2. So the reason is that the subnet I mentioned, like 10.1.2.0 by 16, right? Or 24, right? So that's the reason we got this allocate. This is the IP address could be allocated by Amazon directly. Okay. See, this two can be communicated, no issue. But this one I connected from my local machine, right? This machine is outside, right? That means it's a public. This is my own laptop, right? From my own laptop, I connected the AWS machine. See, these two missions are public missions so that I am able to connect. I am able to connect. Okay. Now what I can do, I would like to go for creating the private subnet. I would like to go for creating the private subnet. So for creating the private subnet, nothing else, guys. Just simply go to your VPC and on the same VPC, okay, I'm going to be creating the one more subnet. I'm just giving name is private, but by default it's a public only. But I'm just giving the name is private OpenAI private subnet. Okay, and for example, availability zone 3, I'm selecting it, and this IP address range is, for example, 10.1. I'm giving some different one, like 33 point, okay, 0/24. Okay, so the range of IP addresses, it could be like 10.1.33 point something, you might have it. Okay, that is my subnet IP range. This is private IP range as moment. This is private subnet. So far I'm just creating, okay, this one I have to add to the route table, right? So far I have only one route table or not? How many route tables we have it for this specific VPC? This OpenAI VPC, how many routes are there? How many routing tables are there? So far we have only one. Okay. So far we have only one. So by default, it was connected the internet. If some subnet, what are the subnets which are connected to internet, internet gateway? Okay. Those subnets, we are calling it, say, public subnets. Okay. My intention is that I want to deploy a mission, and that mission I have to deploy one specific subnet, and the mission doesn't have any kind of access through internet. So that what I can do actually, I can create the new route table. I can create the new route table. This is my open AI route table. This is not main route table. It's a I'm creating this route table. This metro system routes for private. I want to make it some private thing. Okay. So OpenAI and just create it. So inside of this route table, okay, I can associate the only one subnet, and the subnet is my private subnet. I can assigning the private subnet only. I cannot assign the all the subnets. I can assign only private subnet. Save association. Okay, good. Now nothing, everything is fine. So far is everything is fine. Just you're creating the one subnet and you're creating the one route table. And to that particular route table, you are associating that subnet, and we are not doing anything. Okay. Now what I can do, I would like to go for deploy the mission into new subnet. So launch the instance, and this instance is private instance. Private server. I want to be deploy the private server. Okay. So key pair, select the Google key pair and edit the networking. See guys, here we have to concentrate it. See here. So here my VPC is OpenAI VPC only, but the subnet is, which subnet I need to choose? Private subnet, because subnet what I'm creating, that I associated to the route table, which cannot be connected to the internet gateway, which is not connected to the internet gateway. Okay. So I connected the OpenAI private subnet and IP address. We can assigning the IP address and select the security groups. Your security groups could be by default security groups only. And next, launch the instance. See guys, this is the mission. You cannot connect from your local mission. You cannot connect from your local mission. Whether you can able to connect or not, we'll see now. It's just still pending. The mission is not yet deployed on Amazon cloud. So once it is deployed, then it can be running stage. Yes, good to go. Now what I can do, I can again open the putty and see guys, what the mission I created, it's a private server, right? So this private server, I am trying to be connecting from my local mission. Is it possible or not? We'll see now. Click on the private server and I should have the IP address. Copy this public IP address and paste here. Next one is select your PEM file. Open. So you're unable to connecting. The reason is that the mission what you deployed, which you are deployed on private subnet. The mission what you deployed, the mission which you are deployed in private subnet. Okay, that's the reason you're unable to connect. Sir, then how I can connect? If you want to connect, make sure that you can connect from your local mission only. So not from your local mission, from your AWS mission only. So this is my AWS mission, right? Okay. So from this particular mission, I can connect to this private server. From this particular server, I can connect to this private server. How should I connect? So for connecting of this one, make sure that this mission, it should have your PEM file. But do you have the PEM file here? I don't have any PEM file here. So where is my PEM file is there? In my local mission, in my local computer, I have the PEM file. Then I can copy that one. I can copy that the PEM file. Open this one. Open with Notepad. And you can copy. Okay, you can copy. So this key is required. This PEM key is required. Without PEM key, we cannot connect any AWS mission. So this PEM file, this PEM file, I can create my AWS mission. Okay. So nano is the command. It could help you for creating the Google keypair.pem. Okay. Google keypair.pem. Just give it and paste and then exit. Press enter. Yes, fine. So whether data is there or not, if you want to see now, yes. This way you have a PEM file with you. Actually, this PEM file which is not available in your local mission, in your AWS mission. So I created manually. Okay. I copy the content from my local mission. I pasted in. I created a file in my AWS mission. Okay. Fine. Now,
Everybody has PEM file in our system.
the PEM file you have to create one time. The same PEM file we can use for lifetime. Okay.
Mhm.
Yep. Everyone should have it. Without PEM file, we cannot connect. First thing you need to remember, without PEM, we cannot connect. Or without PPK, we cannot connect. Either anyone is required. Either PEM, either PPK, anyone is required.
Did
Any one
you
of it is.
tell about PEM file or I missed it? Did you ever tell about it? How to create
Yeah,
it?
I already explained it. No, go for the VPC
Yeah,
creation class. Okay. Yeah, fine. So I have to connect from my this mission to my public mission to my private mission. Okay. Or my public server to my private server, I have to connect. So for connecting of this one, here we have option. So make sure that this that my dad is calling. Okay. Okay. So see, this is SSH client. So you have a PEM file, right? Yes, I have a PEM file. But the PEM file, which is not, we have to change the mode. Okay, CH mode. So it's a 400. Then you can just copy this one, guys. Just you have to copy this one. Okay. Okay, fine. So CH mode and Google CH mode. CH mode 400 Google. Yes. So you change the permissions. Then you can copy what you copied. See, careful observe here. This is 10.1.1 and this is my public server IP address. From this one, I connected to my another mission. See, 10.1.33, which is belongs to subnet 3 or not. So now this is my private server. This is my private server and this is my public server. Okay. So guys, if you want to be connect private servers from locally, which is not at all possible. Okay. So through internet, it is not possible. So then how I connected to this private server? First, I connected to my public server. From my public server, I connected to my private server. Clear? For example, if you want to be install anything, okay, if you sudo update. See, you're trying to be update something, and on my private subnet, and sudo update. See, here it is, task is done, right? See, just careful observe here. You're trying to updating something. So last metadata expiration check, and depending nothing do it complete. But here it is still it was running. That means this mission, it doesn't have a connection, it doesn't have an access to connect to the internet. That's the reason you're unable to updating it. But this mission is a private mission. This mission is a public mission, so that you're able to download, or you can connect to the internet and we can do anything. But this one is private mission, so we cannot connect. So the reason it is which is there in a private subnet, so that this mission, it cannot be connected to the internet. Then how we can do it? But some situations I need to install some applications, right? I have to install some applications, right? Then how we can do it? For that one, we have a NAT gate is there. NAT gate. So the NAT gate we have to be deploy on your mission, and we can connect, or we can give the access, so that if and only if we have the NAT gate. So if you associate the NAT gate, that IP addresses, then only it can be install anything from internet. But directly we cannot connect to the we cannot connect from internet, but the missions can be connect the internets. For that one, the NAT gates are important. So that I would like to go for creating the NAT gate. This is one device, intelligent device. I'm installing on my, I'm attaching this NAT gate to my AWS missions. Okay. So create the NAT gate, and this is my OpenAI NAT gate. Okay. And which subnet? So any public subnet, we have to be give you this. You have to attach this NAT gate to any one of the public subnet. Okay. So OpenAI subnet one, and then connectivity type is public, and so we have to allocate the elastic IP. So you should require the one IP address actually. So it could be a constant for some time. Okay, so that's the reason we have to allocate the elastic IP, then create the NAT gates. So once NAT gate is created, it will take some time. The status is still pending. Okay, so if the NAT gate is created successfully, then we have to add the route. Okay, and we have to add the route. So we have to wait for some time, guys. Still it is pending. If and only if it is running, then only we can able to connect. This mission can be connected to the internet. So far it cannot be connected to the internet. So my task is that this mission can be communicate to the internet through NAT gate only. NAT gate is the intelligence device. It will give the options to the internal missions to connect the internet for some kind of installations or something else. Okay, but someone is directly connecting from internet, it won't allow you. It won't allow into the missions. That is the use of the NAT gates. Okay, so still it is pending. Okay. Taking time. Yes, of course, it will take some time, guys. So we have to wait for some, we have to wait for 2 to 3 minutes. Then I can explain the NAT gate completely. Then we can close the session. See, we can read this one. You can use the internet network access network address translation. NAT means network address translation gateways to enabling the okay instance in a private subnets to connect to the service outside of your VPC, but prevent such external services from the initiating connections with those instances. There are two type of NAT gates, public and private. Public NAT gate enables instances in private subnets to the internet, but prevent them from receiving the unsolicited inbound connections. Something we have it, we can read it. So here also NAT gate is also we have the two types, private and the public. So we are understanding now it's a public NAT gate, and I'm installing that in a public NAT gate. Yes, still it is pending. So if and only if it is running, then only we can forward the points actually. And it will take less time only. Don't. It just take only few minutes. Once it is running, then we can initiate the task actually. Okay. So just if we add the route, then automatically the connection, it can be installation can be done. I mean, updation can be done. Yes. Now it is available, right? Now, if it is available, just what we can do, we can go to the route table. And so within that one, we have the two route tables are there. One is main route table and second one is the private route table. So you have to select the private route table. And so what we can do, simply we can edit the routes. So what is the route meaning is, so edit the routes, add the routes. So from this particular subnets, okay, other than these addresses, if anything is okay, want to be, it can be connected to the any outs other than these local missions, it can be connected through NAT gate only. So if something is goes with NAT gate, then it will allows with some logic. It could be internal, some kind of logic is there. So yes, done. Good. See, done. This done is done or not? This is your private IP address, guys. This is your private mission. So previously it was in a rotation only, but now this task is completed. Yes or no? Yep. So that is the use of the NAT gate. NAT gate will help you when some missions, if it deployed on subnet, private subnets, but some situations it has to connect to the internet or outside of that VPC. Okay, that moment it go through the NAT gates only. So that's the reason we have to install the NAT gate and we have to add the route. Then only it can connect outside VPCs, but from outside it cannot be connected to the internal VPCs or internal private subnets. Okay. Yep, guys, that's for today's session. Hopefully you got it. And if you're not get any concepts, and please let me know. I would like to explain one more time.
Sir, you will be teaching only AWS or you will be teaching GCP and Azure too after this?
See, actually, I'm just dealing at this moment. I can explain only AWS. My primary goal is that I would like to explain only one cloud. Okay. So that
Okay.
rest of the clouds we have to practice yourself.
Okay, sir. And what else topics would you like to cover after this AWS session is completed?
After that one, coming to that, mandatory skills, I would like to cover SQL and then I would like to cover Python. Okay. And then
Okay.
Git and Jenkins and those things I can cover with these sessions. Okay.
Okay. So how long it will take for each and every course? Like
So
I
minimum,
just joined recently.
AWS, it will take minimum 30 days. Okay.
Okay.
And Python, it will take 2 weeks or 1 week. Okay. And the
Okay.
SQL, it will take the 2 weeks. And rest, like in a GitHub and Jenkins, it will take 1 week.
Okay, sir. Yeah. So the AWS is already halfway.
It's not half, it's just, beginning only. Only 5 sessions are done.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay. Thank you.
Yep. So regarding about our previous classes, then you can send your mail ID so that I would like to, give the access of my previous classes.
Yeah,
Hello.
okay.
So make sure that if your work is done, make sure that your instances must be shut down. Otherwise, unnecessarily you have to pay some amount to AWS. Yeah, Pooja, are you there? Hello, Pooja, are you there or not? Is there anyone need the recordings?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sir. I
Hello.
need the recordings.
Yes.
Hello. Hi, sir. This is Priyanka.
Yeah, Priyanka.
Yeah. I also need a recorded session. So I missed earlier sessions from your end. Yesterday
Okay.
I have
So
sent my mail ID.
yeah, just a minute. Whether your mail ID is already given or not, we'll see now. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So guys, you can send me your mail IDs in a Zoom chat. Then I can give you that, recording access. You will get the access. You will get the notification from the Canvas. You will get the mail from the Canvas, and you can click on the Get Started. Then automatically, it will ask you like create account or else use your existing account. So if you don't have the Canvas account, then you can go for create. So it by the time of accepting and get started, then it will, it's simple actually. So for accessing of recording, it will simple. Anyway, I would like to go for create a one particular video so that it could be easy for everyone for accessing the recordings. How we can accessing the recordings that I can make one small video, I can upload it. Is there anyone want the recordings from this particular? Okay, fine.
Uh, s- Hello, this is Kunal. I wanted to ask, is it the AWS 101 modules you're talking about?
Sorry.
The Canvas link,
Yes,
is it the
AWS. Yes, AWS.
AWS 101 modules? Is that the
Yes,
one? All
yes,
right.
yes.
Okay.
If you have so you will get the access. You will get the mail from the Canvas.
I do have access. I just wanted to make sure it's the right
Yeah,
one.
that one only. That one only.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. So guys, actually, how we can get the mail from the Canvas? I'm just showing you. So you will get the mail from the Canvas, something like this. Okay. So you can type the Canvas. Yes. So you will get the invitation, course invitation. You will get the mail something like course invitation. Click on this one. You will have option something like this. Click on the get started. Then it directly go through your recording access. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Clear, right?
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. Bye. Take care.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.